Hey guys, we're back again, this time doing another episode, but this time on a game called Wagers of War, an insanely fun card game here on iOS, Google Play, as well as PC on Steam, so it is cross-platform. Now this is not a sponsored video. You will not see it in the title, you will not see it in the description. I've simply been playing the game so much. People like Xenotech, Imperium, Low Key God, Brizzle McFizzle, Mexi from Gangstars, and a slew of other players I've recognized throughout my course of doing YouTube and doing Vainglory have been playing this game lately, and it's actually really cool and really awesome to see a lot of great players and people in general coming over to the game and starting to make a name for themselves in this game as well. And for good reason. The game is really fun. So what kind of game is it exactly? It is like a Hearthstone Clash Royale mix. So you do have a card system similar to Clash Royale. So you can see here we have a deck of 6 cards which rotate throughout the match. You do get mana to use throughout the match, which is how you determine which cards you're going to end up using during that sequence. You do have a specific hero with a very unique ability at your disposal, so that's the part that's kind of like Hearthstone. So for instance, I'm using Abomination, and his special attack is a physical attack which does 2 damage at the expense of 1 health to myself. So you can see that there's some strategy involved there. You also have other ones such as the Gambler. This one, his ability is, it's a physical attack, but you're basically gambling to see if you get a 1 to 3 damage hit on your enemy. Sometimes it's a 1, sometimes it's amazing and you get that 3 hit on your enemy. And we'll get into a match here too to kind of showcase how the gameplay actually transpires. But anyways, let's go ahead and just make sure we use our main here. Abomination is definitely my favorite. I do like a couple of the heroes too. Like, for instance, I like to use this guy right here, the Vampire, because he has a lot of leeching. So you can leech health and get health back, along with kind of putting a bunch of cards with similar effects into your deck to kind of just emphasize on that whole leech style mentality for this deck. But anyways, back to the Abomination. So we'll go ahead and go to there. Oops, we're going to use. So I have a bunch of cards in my deck here. I have, like, you know, different mana costs, so I have a good flow of cards I can use despite how much mana I have. So if I have a low amount, I have some cards at my disposal for that. If I have a huge amount of mana, I can go ahead and dump some pretty hard-hitting cards here. But, you know, there's a bunch of others as well that you'll go ahead and go through and see which ones you like best. And with more to come, I'm sure. You also have this really interesting mechanic called a burn card, which you can use once per match. And usually it has some really dramatic effect, like it heals you for 10, which is a huge amount in this particular game, which you'll see why once we get into the match. Or if you are dropped down to 0 health, you have a card, if you've used it before you actually die, right before that turn ends, you will actually revive and come back with 10 health. There's a lot of strategy and depth to this game that makes it really fun. But anyways, getting cards is really easy too. So for instance, you have the free packs you get every day. You also have quests you can do, and once you do 3, you get a card pack for that. And you also collect the coins, which you'll go ahead and contribute into your war pack. And when you reach 250, you'll get a war pack as well, and you can keep doing this wash and repeat, and you just get a plethora of cards. It's really easy to get, which is what's really fun about this game, is that you don't really have to pay to win. I've had people who are lower level than me who actually still had some decent cards and didn't spend a single dime in this game and still kicked my ass. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how? Like, it's just the strategic depth in this game is so great that even if there seems like an apparent disadvantage, say I have 46 health and he has 43, or my card does 1 extra damage than his, a lot of times if you play it right, you can really turn it around, which is crazy. But what's great about this game is that it's relatively balanced. But we also have a mode called Arena, which you can go ahead and go into, and it basically makes it a completely clean slate where you make a deck and then you go into the match. All the cards are completely maxed out for each person. Your hero is maxed out for each person, so it's completely balanced. So if you do have that issue where you're like, oh, well, he's so much stronger than me, well, you can go ahead and go into Arena and have fun there because it's completely even as far as card levels, hero levels, so on and so forth. So there is that available to you as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into a match before we prolong this too much. So let's go ahead and fast forward until we get into the match here. All right, so we are entering the match. Really, really excited to kick some ass. Hopefully, I don't get my ass kicked myself. But anyways, here we go. So we start off with the basic card game, War. So you pull a card. Whoever has the highest card gets mana. The longer the match goes on, the more mana you get per turn. But anyways, moving forward, so we have a bunch of cards here. We have the Queen. So every face card has a special effect. So the Queen has a poison, which I can do damage over time to my enemy. He doesn't have the Jack, which can reflect my Queen. So let's go ahead and just throw that out there. We have also 3 mana at our disposal. We'll go ahead and just use our hero's ability here and see what we can do. So he's going to go ahead and actually armor up with the black card here. So any black card is considered a defensive card. If you use it, it adds to your armor. A red card is considered an attack card. So if you use it, it does damage to the enemy hero. You also have your base cards, which you pull from your deck, which can influence those cards on the board, or just do straight damage, or do a a bunch of different effects here. But anyways, so I think we ended up trading relatively the same here. But anyways, let's go ahead. He has the poison. I have a Pierce Harden, so I can go ahead and use my king to make my attack bypass armor, but it's not really needed right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this. Well, no, I'm going to use this right here. Use that as well. And I'll go ahead and just use my 0 cost just to get a little extra damage out there. Alright, so he bulked up for 2 armor and then made it even more, so 4. So I'm going to do some damage there. I'll go ahead and do a damage there as well. And now I'm going to go use my hero ability to get 2 health or 2 damage done. Take 1 off myself because that's how the effect works. Alright, so back to turn. So let's see if I can actually end up with a higher amount of mana. So as far as my cards go, so this one right here, Blade of Reckoning, will do damage. And if I have lower health than them at the beginning of the turn, I will actually gain health when using that card. This one will go ahead and double the effect of any card on the board with a value of 8 or lower. And this one will heal me at the end of the turn for 3 rounds of the War segment. But anyways, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and attack for 7 and then double it up for 14. I'm just going to hit hard. So he just got armor for 2 plus the armor that he got from that card. So he has 4. I'm still doing 10 damage. See ya. But anyway, so we also have our burn cards here too. So instant heal for 8. I don't want to use it yet. I usually only use it when like I'm getting really low on health and I need to replenish. This card right here, so the more I use it, the more powerful it becomes. So every time I use it, it gets 2 increased damage up to a max of 10. So I usually like to use that if I can right away. And then I'll go ahead and just leech. So I can go ahead and use my ace card. And the ace card's effect is I can either possess one of his cards on the board and use it against him. Usually it's like a defensive card, I believe, right? And then we have the also secondary effect, which you can use instead, which is you just pull 2 health from his health pool and then give it to yourself, which I just did. So there we go. I personally like the healing cards. They just seem really, really fun. All right, so we actually ended up on the lower end of the mana pool here. He has 3 more mana than me this turn. But that is the luck of the draw, right? So we do have the ability to use this, though, because we have less mana, so we can actually heal from it. And I can also... see, I can also heal up using my card here. He only has a 2 attack card. He might have some on hand, but I'm going to go ahead and just use my hero skill here. Yeah, he says D'ing up. He's not doing much damage. Yeah, he keeps putting on armor, but he can't really do much for himself other than protect himself. He doesn't really have a lot of high hit cards yet that he's used. He might still have one, I don't know, but I haven't seen one. Maybe he's waiting for the right board cards. Alright, so we actually ended up with 14 mana. He only has 11 this time. We do have another poison we can use, but he does have a jack which can reflect effects of cards like my queen. So that is actually not something I want to do. He can also reflect base red cards for attack damage and make my own cards that I use attack myself, which is not good either. I'm going to go ahead and just... I'm going to take the risk and go with the 7. And I'm going to double it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave my mana. Because my next turn, this card right here will actually take the damage. Will actually have increased damage equal to the amount of mana I left unused my last turn. There we go. So I'm going to go do 14 damage. Well, 12. He had some armor. He's going to go ahead and leech my health and bring it back to himself for 2. So he's back up to 17. So there we go. My card that costs 0 now has 4 damage, making this turn really, really strong. Plus I have this one too, which had an increase of 2 attacks. Now it's up to 4, which I want to use again. So we're going to use that. We'll go ahead and use this one as well. So that's 8 damage in total. We'll go ahead and D up a little bit. So we'll go to 3 for the defensive stat. And we'll go ahead and just use our attack here for our hero. Alright, so he did not go with the attack. He's still just D'ing up. I don't know why. He needs to get some damage out. There is a card, though, that can make it to where any armor you have that's unused at the end of the turn, you will go ahead and use that armor as a piercing attack towards your enemy. So you can go defensive and use that card to kind of build into like a more tanky warrior. You use your armor against your enemy. So you can pretty much turn your defensive stat into an offensive stat. Alright, so we do have a reflect. He hasn't used the board much at all, but I'm going to go ahead and just use it so that for the sake of trying to show you guys how it works. So I suspect he's going to go with the 10 card here. He probably will, but I'm going to try to reflect it. So if he uses that card, my jack will reflect it towards him. And I'll go ahead and just do this one right here, and I'll heal up with that as well. So there we go. He does use the 10 card, and I reflected it back. Dude, this guy's dead. He didn't use his burn card either, so he's done. This is GG. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. He left the match. He saw the reflect. He's like, God damn it. Oh, God. So that's the end of the game. It'll go ahead and close it out here in a second. There it is. All right. So we won that one. We'll go ahead and do one more so we can go ahead and see if maybe we can get someone who can do well against us. So one game, I got like 36 of the points total needed for the 250 for the war pack. So that's pretty good, you know? Like, so you can play quite a few games and get quite a few card packs as you go, simply through the war packs and then doing the quest and then also getting your free pack, as you can see here. You actually end up getting quite a bit. It's pretty crazy. And you know, there's definitely a lot more features coming. I've talked to the devs. They're definitely working on a lot of new features, which are really, really exciting. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for them to release new heroes too. That would be really, really cool. But anyways, look, we got a friend's request. Low-key guy. Oh no, he's online. Never mind. The green means he's online. Let's give it a whirl. Let's battle him. Let's see if he accepts. He is one of the top players in the server right now. So he is definitely going to be one to actually have a hard time with. Look, he's number 2. All right. Here we go. So he has the switch poison and a pierce. He only has 8 mana though. I'm gonna go ahead and use my 5. I'm gonna use my 5. That's all I'm gonna use. Because I want to go ahead and give this card a 5 damage total for next turn. There we go. Ooh! That card hits hard! What the hell? Jesus! Okay. Okay, we got this though. Alright, so we got some healing we can do. He still ended up with the top end mana here. He can D up quite a bit, and he can throw out an attack. I'm going to go ahead and just use my cards. So I'm going to go and use these two. Get some healing back, get some damage out. Hopefully he doesn't D up too hard. Which he did not, so that's good. He is going to try to blow up one of my cards that I use, which I didn't use any. Oh no, he did it to me. Okay, never mind. Alright, so now he's using his little mana pump. So every time there's a round, he'll get a pump of mana. Alright, so he has 8 mana, so he can end up using any one of these cards. I don't really want to... I can go 4 damage. Or I can just use this right here. I'll do this right here. So I'll get some health back. I'll use my 2 red to get some damage out. There we go. He only has that card for 2 damage right now. So his next turn on that card will be 4. We're trading pretty good though. I mean, I'm not too far behind. God, I keep ending up on the low end of mana. I kind of wanted his D up here because he has a 7 attack there. I could try to reflect it, but I don't think I'd be able to do it. I'll just D up. He might have the card that destroys it, which he does not. Okay, good. So D'ing up here, I think, was actually a better choice. So he blocked a lot of the damage. He didn't get any health for that too. So I only took 1 damage. Well, no, I took 3 in total. He only took 1. So that actually ended up a pretty defensive turn for me. I didn't take too much. This guy, dude, always ends up on the top of mana. I'll get my turn someday. I'll get it. Don't worry. Alright, so he doesn't have any damage cards on the board. He has poison, though. I'm going to go ahead and use this to counteract the poison in case he uses it. Which he does not. He's all about using his cards. He doesn't care much for the board. Man. He's doing some pretty nasty damage. I still have my burn card though if I'm really low on health. So I'll go ahead and get 1 health per turn. I think up to 3 turns. I still have 1 left. We ended up a draw. On the low end again. Once again. I'll use the 2 damage. I don't want to do damage to myself. There we go. He did 3 plus 2. God, like my rolls on the war sequence has been really bad. I've always ended up on the low end of mana. Alright, I actually ended up on the high end, but he had mana pumps, so he actually ended up relatively equal. I'm gonna go ahead and just possess his 5. And then I'll leave that right there, so I can go and have that card have some damage next turn. Good, I possessed the 5, that's good. Sweet. Give him a thumbs up. Yeah! Get wrecked. Oh god. Nope! He did do 1 damage though. That was good. Good turn, good turn. Good prediction. Give me the top end, give me the top end. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. See, now it's my turn. He has reflect, so I'm not going to use poison. I can go with the 5 and double up the defense. Go with the 4. I'll go and use my hero. I'll use actually all my cards right now. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm doubling up the 5 for 10 defense. Really stacking up that defense because I don't want to take too much more. I'm starting to catch up, so that's really good. There we go. Block that. He uses burn card though, so any damage he does, he gets health back. So there we go. He went back up too. Man, that's annoying. I might have to use my burn card here. It's kind of risky depending on the cards on the board. Alright, so I ended up in the low end of mana once again. I'm gonna use my burn card because he has a lot of attack cards on the board. I'm gonna have to D up as well. There's no way I can sustain this. So we'll do that. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I don't really want to use my hero skill right now because he'll end up well, I actually would have had a nice trade there, but it's alright. There we go. We got some health back. That's good. We're blocking what we can. Yes. So we're holding on. We're holding on really good. Give it to me. Yeah. Top end is mine, baby. All right. So we got this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use the 9, and I'm gonna double up on the. Oh, I can't. It's only 8 or lower. Gosh, dang it. That would have been really, really cool. I'm gonna poison though. I'm gonna use switch poison. I'll use this as well. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. He went pump and defense, and then his hero skill. Okay. So actually, the hero skill used was actually unfortunate on my part. That's actually a loss in trade on that. But we do have the poison, so that's good. Ticks for 4. 1, 2, and I'm getting health back from my healing. There we go. So we actually ended up actually a pretty good trade, actually. Nice. All right, so we have reflect as well. Do we take the risk and see if he has? No, I'm not. I'm gonna go. Whoa, he has reflect though. I know he knows I have a double up, so I'm gonna hold off and not use it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to reflect his 4. I'll use. Oh God. The defense. I'll double up the defense. I'll leave it at that. I really need to play it safe. Yeah, see, he reflected my damage. He thought I was going to use it. That's why I didn't want to use it, because I was really scared that he would actually try. I thought he would use one of his, but he did not either, so we kind of just wasted our reflex. But it's good. So we got the defense. We're going to take a big chunk of damage here, though, because he has that one, and then he has the card he's been building up over time. So I took 6, plus another 2. Whew. I feel like he won that trade quite well. Please give him no defensive cards. That would be awesome. He doesn't. He has reflect. This is scary. So this is 4 damage plus 8. That's 12. Plus 3. He has no defensive cards. He might have some healing. I'm gonna go all out. I might lose here. I might be dead right here. As a matter of fact, I'm probably dead. I think it's a draw. I'm pretty sure it's a draw. It's a draw, dude. Okay, so we ended up in a draw. Good game. We didn't lose, okay? We didn't lose. We ended up in a draw. Maybe I could have made something happen there, but I kind of wanted to just end it there before I embarrassed myself. But there we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Alright, so, and you also can talk to your friends as shown here. But anyways, there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay of Wagers of War. Definitely check it out. It is available on iOS, Google Play, as well as Steam on PC. So it is completely cross-platform. You can play with any of your friends regardless of platform. So that's what's awesome about this game as well. And it's really fun and addicting. I've been playing it so much. Just kind of experimenting with different decks and seeing how it actually ends up working in the actual gameplay, and just having really like a lot of fun. But anyways, hopefully you guys will too. Check it out, and I will see you guys next time. Later!